wizard fixing tech with glee. Old gadgets, new life, he's the chosen one. Every broken circuit, he's gonna get it done. From vintage TVs to your old cassette, with a trusty soldering iron, there's no regret. Turning back the clock, making them shine. Rolling Tide is magic, it's simply divine. Hey, like and subscribe, join the crew. Rolling Tide is on YouTube, he's waiting for you. Fixing your old electronics, bringing them back. Zero in now, you're on the right track. He's got the flow, he's got the style. Every DIY hack makes it all worthwhile. Capacitors dancing, resistors in line. With a grin on his face, he's crossing the tide. From video games to the stereo beat, Rolling Tide brings the fix, can't accept defeat. Watch him unravel, watch him restore. Every click and pop, you're gonna want more. Hey, like and subscribe, join the crew. Rolling Tide is on YouTube, he's waiting for you. Fixing your old electronics, bringing them back. Tune in now, you're on the right track. So gather round, folk, it's more to show. It's a journey through time, come on, let's go. With every episode, the wonders unfold. Rolling Tide, a story to be told. No broken dreams in his workshop space, just a passion for fixing a welcoming place. Each step of the way, you'll learn something new. From repairing a lamp to a classic Atari 2. With a twist of his wrench and a turn of the dial, you'll be flipping through channels in no time. We'll smile. Throw your hands up, it's a community vibe. Feel that electric pulse, feel that old tribe. Get your gear ready, let's spark up the chat. Rolling Tide is the name, remember that. Hey, like and subscribe, join the crew. Rolling Tide is on YouTube, he's waiting for you. Fixing your old electronics, bringing them back. Tune in now, you're on the right track. So if you've got gadgets that need a good home, Rolling Tide is the place, and don't need your own. But never do fix, so feel the blast. Join the journey now, let's make tech last.
Okay, we're back again. So as you can see, the title of the stream is we're going to be fixing my Nixie IN13 thermometer. So I noticed it's been a little while. It was working the last stream, as some of you look up and see. It was working, but now it's not. Of course, a couple of days ago, I noticed that it didn't seem quite as vibrant as it used to be, and it seemed to be kind of losing its luster and stuff like that. And then one morning I come in here and it's just a little glowing ember on the bottom of the tube. And of course, if you remember in my previous stream, I rebuilt the backlighting for it. So I put the cob lighting on it, and that's the only thing that was working on it currently. So if I plug it in, of course it still lights up, but as you can see, there's no orange bar graph other than a little hot spot on the bottom of the tube, which I would assume that's it's probably shorted out down there. Maybe it's got some carbon tracking or whatever, and it finally shorted out. Of course, something like this, a device like this, is not really very kind to a tube because it's always on the same spot. You know, it just varies a little bit. So Probably one of them things that's going to be like a couple year maintenance thing where you're going to have to change the tubes in it, unless you get a good tube that's a little bit more robust than others. So, like I got the title says, I'm just hoping it's just a tube, but other than that, there's only a couple little 8-pin ICs on here that could be bad or something like that, but I really can't read them, so I would have to get the microscope out to see what the friggin' numbers are, because they're not really legible and stuff like that. So let's take the tube out. I got replacements. I bought one, and I bought a spare just in case I have to do this again in the future, which more than likely I will. So really the only concern I have here is the traces, because when I was changing the backlight LEDs, it was 6 of them at one time. The first time I did it, the traces started lifting on it, so we'll try to be a little bit more careful, but shit happens, and that's just the way it is. So here's the brand new tube, and there's only like one place in the United States that sells these things. Otherwise, you'd have to, buy everything across the pond and wait. But it's just the way it is, So let's get started here and change the tube. So all we're going to do is basically just take the solder off. 3 connections here, and hopefully everything will be fine. So all I gotta do is figure out a way to hold this. I guess I can do it laying down, but really not. But you won't be able to see what I'm doing. But let's see. Do I have anything around that will hold that? I think I do. Because I want to hold it securely so it doesn't bounce around. Let's see. Let's try this thing. My little wannabe helping hands here. Don't know if it helped me or hurt me. So we gotta configure this stuff. Turn that one. Turn that one. And probably it's only gonna work. As long as I can get one to hold, that's fine. That'll sort of work. So I think instead of using the solder sucker like I did with the LEDs, I think I'll just do some wicking. Be a lot more gentler on the pads here. I think. No guarantees. So this should be a pretty easy repair. Okay, that's all they did was just fold them over. That's good. There's no through hole business going on, so that makes it a little bit easier. So that is out. Okay. So all I gotta do is just pop the tube out. take these leaves and bend them straight. So that takes care of that. So here's our old tube. Let's see, we got any kind of information on here? Usually really the only thing I care about is when it was made. $1985. This tube. So, you know, old stuff. This one, it's got a different format of printing, so obviously somebody else made this. Looks like 1989. So we got an 89 tube. So all we got to do is put it back in. And just configure these wires. They don't need to be that long. Just want them long enough. And that's all we got to do is just put that back in them 3 holes. One leg in each hole. And then it's just a matter of putting the tube back in at a certain height. So probably what I'll do is I'll put some tape on it to hold it so I don't have to guess on where to put the tube. Not that it matters because you can calibrate these, but I'd rather have the tube where it was. So that should suffice. So it's just a matter of the reverse of what we just did. So they're a little long, but that's fine. We can trim. You can always cut more off. You can't put more back on. So, just a matter of resoldering that. So we'll just make some nice puffy pads. Let's see if I can tin these. Should be good. And just a matter of folding these over. They're pretty stout. Okay. A little bit more on this one. Hold it down. Okay. So hopefully that takes care of that. No guarantees though. First I'm going to have to reset the voltage and the temperature. So I was monkeying around with the pots. I'll get this out of the way. But it should light up if it's working. We'll go back over to this one and get the cord. Hopefully this lights up. Aha! Yes, it did. I got the bar graph back. Oh, yeah. Now I just got to calibrate it again. Okay, so I need a flathead. So the calibrator is on the back here. Okay. That didn't do anything. Probably an additional problem with this thing. But
Already on auto mode.
I'll check my voltage.
DC voltage.
So 152 volts. So that's not that bad.
DC 1.
Okay.
DC 1.
So I got about 150 volts, but my temperature adjustment is not working. So I wonder if the that thing is bad. The temperature transistor here. So that could be bad. Of course, there's no markings on it. I think there is markings on it, but I can't see it. I have to get the microscope out for that. So that kind of sucks. So I got the tube working, but the temperature is not reading. Or it could be a problem with one of the chips. I don't know. So it's kind of a 50-50 deal. But They still sell kits like this, so if I had to, I'd just get another one. Oh well. It is what it is.
Is about to enter steady state.
You know, stuff like this, you know, it's meant to be, you know, kind of like a hobby grade type thing. You know, it was probably never designed to be running 24/7, crap like that. It is what it is. So, you know, one of them projects that it either works or it don't. So, I'm not really, you know, feeling bad that it don't work. It's just that, you know, you try it, and if it don't work, you just, you know, move on and stuff like that. So, it's been a little while since I worked on a lot of Jay's stuff there. I did work on some of it in the past week because I was on vacation all week. So it was a combination of going back and forth between working on Jay's stuff here and doing some embroidering and stuff like that. So we'll go over some of the things that we've gone through, because I know there's a lot of people that don't really pay attention to this channel. The Brain Dead Info Globe. So I was going to wait till the last stream to convert everything over. I just went ahead and did it. It was a lot, for me, it's a lot easier just to do things than doing it on camera and all that other crap. And it's basically boring stuff that, you know, a lot of people are not really going to watch. So, got the Info Globe back, got all the guts that I took out of the other one and put it in this one, and then that's Jay's my refurbished Info Dome that I polished up. So that's working. Of course, I got the spinning refurbished spinning arm in there, so that's working. So he'll just have to reprogram all his little messages and daily things there and all that other good stuff. And of course, this one doesn't make a racket like the other one did. So, there we go. So hopefully this one doesn't, this one lasts a little bit longer than the other one. But it is what it is. I mean, these things are well over 20 years old. So depending on what kind of life they had prior to of me getting them and then being repurposed to other places, you know, don't really know how many hours are on these things. So that is that. So, that was number one on the list. Number two, the dead answering machine. So I worked on that for a little while and determined that it too is also brain dead. So this is it, the digital answering machine. And this is the one I put the little jewel thief in there to power up a green LED. So I started checking around it. I was checking for powers and stuff like that. I did notice when I was checking around that there was quite a few capacitors in there that were completely either leaky or open circuit. I think there was maybe 2 or 3 that were actually good in it. So as I was changing capacitors, it started giving signs of life. I mean, instead of a brief little blip of the display lighting up or the LED and display lighting up, I was actually getting it. I was able to get it to come on for about a second, and that's all that I was able to achieve on it. Other than that, it did nothing, because as I changed more and more stuff, it progressively got worse and worse, and eventually it completely died when it got hot. So what was getting hot was the I guess CPU. So as I was looking around on this thing and just trying to determine what its problem was, I you know, of course you got your fingers on it and stuff like that, and it would I felt a chip getting hot. So it was I did the thermal camera thing, and determined that it was that's what died in it. So unfortunately that is a no fix for that, because I can't just change the CPU. But I did Jay a favor. I went on eBay, and these things are still available. You know, of course, they're going to be new, old stock and stuff like that, or used. So I did buy you a new, well, new to you, but old, still working. And we're going to change the, I got one that was the cheapest one that still works. So the case on it looks like crap. It looks like somebody ran a rope across it and left burn marks on it, you know, burned plastic. So we're going to change the board, swap over the shells, because I already did the work, and just put the Jewel Thief on the new board, and you'll have a well, new to you, or gently used digitally answering machine, because I know you're quite fond of this, especially when you had that bright green LED working. So we'll make that. I gotta wait a few days for that to come, and then you'll have a hopefully I'll check over the capacitors and stuff like that. So maybe that's what killed it, is the capacitors going to hell in it, and it probably made so much electrical turbulence in there, it fried the CPU, which, you know, or it's just old age. Who really knows? I don't know. Okay, so number 3 on our list, the multicolor LED base with clock. So I did of course I had a video on that of putting a battery backup in it, a better one in it. And as time come on, Jay did have a request to, if he ever were to send me anything new or additional stuff to fix that, we would return to this and make it a little bit more cooler. So this runs off of it runs off a USB micro, and it needs that power to run the backlight for the clock and the RGBs. So he wanted me to you know, get all fancy with Arduino and stuff like that, but too much time and dedication to that, and it would take me forever to ever get to this. So I showed in another live stream that I got one of them green color strips with one of them little microcontroller all in one package, where you just plug it in and it does all its things. So for me to get that in there, I thought it would be pretty simple. It turned into be quite of a chore to get this everything in there, and it's just not the controller. Actually, because I took these little microscopic RGBs out, because that was my goal was just to put it right over the top and then have everything clamped shut. But there was just not enough room, not enough height between the PCB and the housing. So I had to take all these little RGBs out. So there's 2, 4, 5 of them. I had to take all 5 out and there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So he gained 1 additional pixel. And on top of that, since this is a 50/50 package, I had to grind out a channel. There was a channel in there. I had to make the channel wider, so to fit the Dream Color RGBs in there. So, goal accomplished. I got the RGBs in there. There's a controller in there. And I got the backlight to stay on all the time, anytime it's plugged in. So, right now the clock is running off battery power. It runs about 10 days before it dies. And I accomplished what Jay wanted. He wanted something that will, anytime it's plugged in, it will always be on. And it'll be going through whatever patterns are programmed into the little controller. So we'll plug it in, and it will automatically come on. So the backlight of the LED for the clock will always be on. I did tone it down a little bit, just because probably something like that, it's not meant to run 24/7. So I toned it down just a little bit. It looks just as bright, but the goal was, now he's got Dream Color LEDs. I don't know how many freaking patterns are in it. A lot of them are probably going to be kind of boring, where I don't know how well it's going to look, because I don't have a piece of acrylic to stick in there to see how it looks. But I stuck like a bottle over it. I let it run for a few minutes, and then it looked kind of cool, especially when it started getting into the more complex patterns where it was like doing weird things. But at least it's doing something more than it was designed to do. So it's going to do all kinds of waves and pattern shifts and Knight Rider things and different pixelations and stuff like that. But the best thing about the whole thing is it's got a clicker. So if you want to screw with it and turn it on or off, you got the clicker for it. It is RF, which will be beneficial because there's no way I was able to put a IR type of controller in there for you to control it with the clicker. So, like I mentioned, here's the clicker. You can turn it on and off. You can play with it, change the modes. The instructions have no... there's 358 modes in there. So, that should keep you entertained for a very, very, very long time. And if you actually stay in a room for that long, God bless you. So, got everything achieved. Backlight is always on. Of course, now the 2 buttons here, they're just, you can do SOS or Morse code, and it's not going to do anything because they're disabled. So, clock works, backlight works. You got Dream Color RGBs. So there's a lot of wave patterns at the first beginning of the show there, as far as I can tell, and then it starts getting a little bit more interesting. But a little something for you. And it was not, like I said, it was not easy, especially trying to get it closed back up. That was quite of a chore to get that closed up. And wherever that pixel went, I have no idea. Not that it matters, because you'd never be able to put them back in. Unless you want to hot air them. But I'm going to leave them out, because they're not any good for anything. So, that's that for the RGB multicolor LED base clock. It's now doing more than it was ever designed to have in it. And it is a tight squeeze in there, so I don't recommend ever taking it apart. Unless you want to curse all day getting it back in. Okay, that's that. So, that's number 3 on the list. The number 4, emergency hand crank portable radio. So, I always mention that you should always have a portable emergency radio, especially one with the weather band in it. So this one was functionally perfect, except for the USB port. USB port was completely ripped off the board, where I couldn't fix it just by resoldering the USB port. So I had to get creative. And actually what I did is I actually put a daughter board and epoxied it and UV glued it on top of the current board and ran wires to the charge controller and to ground. So now you got USB function. So now you can plug it in. I would be very careful plugging in, but as you can see, it is now charging. So, pretty cool. Had to do a little bit of modification to the case, and this plastic is extremely brittle. I can't believe the pieces that were just this little flipper of this little light here. It literally just sheared right off. It was amazing. So the solar panel does work. I don't know how much solar charging actually can do with the LED on. And I at first I thought it was phantom power. I was like, why is there an LED? But if you, as soon as you cover the solar panel, the little light goes out. So I don't know if you can see that with the glare. Let me get it dead on. See? So I don't know how much the solar panel actually charges, but something like this I would definitely not leave in the window to rely on solar charging to charge it, because probably it would further degrade the plastic already than it already is. Everything works on it. The little radio works on it. I don't think it'll pick anything up in here. Oh, there we go. So there. Your little radio is burning to be used in emergencies. So there you go. And of course the little flashlight works. It's got a 2 amp 18650 in it. So probably someday this thing will come back for me to put a battery in it. So that's working, and hopefully the epoxy and UV glue holds that little daughter board in it. Okay, number 5 on the list was the white cylindrical object. So that was the first repair I did for the little USB Bluetooth speaker. So put a new cell in it. It works perfectly. And of course, I put a little decal on there. New 18650 52525 RT for RT Rolling TARDIS. So that's fixed. And of course, let's see if it still powers up. It's probably already self-discharged by now. Who was that? Micro? Yeah. Yeah. It's got a pretty high discharge rate because it's always waiting for you to touch that touch button on top. But stuff like that. So charge it up when you get this back, and it'll be working just fine. So that's that. And of course, number 6, the vintage Radio Shack strobe backlight. So I tried my damnedest, for those who haven't watched, my damnedest to get the original board working. I could not get it to work. So there was some unknown components on there. Don't know what it is. Couldn't get it to work. But as long as it works, that's all Jay really wanted. So we have put a brand new board strobe firing board on the back of this, and of course Jay answered my question when he did see the video, and replied, "What do you want to do for the power button?" So got the power button, and here is the rheostat, or the pot for the adjustable flash rate with a knob. So that's an upgrade. So the only thing I had to do was just drill a hole through the friggin' label, but it's right in the center of the two paragraphs, so you're not really going to notice it, and it works beautifully. So now you can switch the strobe light on and off, and of course here is the all the workings. So there's the new board. There's the heart of the whole damn thing, really, is that firing transformer. And it's simplified design, a lot less components, probably a little bit more reliable, I would imagine. And of course, whatever's on here is modern. So, and of course, modern as into a lot of these components have already been documented on Google and stuff like that. So even if some of this crap becomes obsolete, at least there'll be a crossover to put new parts in. So that's that. And of course, I already know that it works, and you guys know that it works on previous live streams and stuff like that. And of course, number 7, which is a description of the spare strobe tubes, stuff like that. Light organ board. So I noticed off the bat, solder connections for the microphone were broken. So I resoldered that, and I started plugging things in, and then fucking shit hit the fan, and one of my test clips fell off, or actually popped off, and it landed in the spot of the board where it fucking blew up the bridge rectifier in the damn thing. Blew a trace out, so hopefully that's the only thing that's blown up in it. And I hope that the damn 8-pin chip is not blown. Because it left a burn mark on my probe. I don't know if you can tell. See that black spot? And it actually left a burn mark in my mat. So this is where it blew up. And it actually left copper remnants on there. So I took the rectifier apart. I'll put a new rectifier in it, and I had to rebuild the trace because it blew it apart, and hopefully that's the only thing that's blown up in it, because I tried to get some description on this 8-pin chip, and there is zero information. There is a forum on this where somebody else had one of these. Same thing happened to him. Freaking whatever he was monkeying with, the damn thing malfunctioned down, and it blew it up. But I think the chip is okay, and the rest of it is okay. But if it doesn't work, I got something cooler coming that will replace that. Even though I think this little light organ kit was supposed to be a replacement for that, in case it. I think that was Jay's intention. If that couldn't get working right, because he would bang on it and it would start working. So it was just the solder connections for the microphone was broken off. So I think that's what this was for a replacement of that. I could be wrong. I don't really know. I did build it. The only thing with this one is on the instructions there, they didn't really show correctly how to put the one diode in, but luckily the thing's got 2 pictures on it, so I carbon copied it for the diode there. So this should work. I never tested it, but it's simple enough. It shouldn't malfunction. So it was wired right, and luckily with this thing, it's got a nice little wiring diagram of how the circuit design was placed, so I was able to verify that, and the 2 pictures that are on there to verify. That was my only thing, was the diode. Everything else was simple enough to put in there. So, but if this is blowing up, I will make it right and get a replacement upgraded board for that, just because that's what people do that are honest. And if you fuck something up, you replace it, or at least try to fix it. So that's that. Where you going, you little bugger? Let's see. Where'd that fall? There, huh? Make sure I don't lose that tube. Because now, going back to that strobe board, now that it uses a modern tubes, it uses the non-polarized tubes. And then one other note on that answering machine, I did find a voltage regulator that had broken solder joints in it too. So that is that. So all I got to do is basically wait for that answering machine to come, do the board swap, put that my modified green LED in it, and that'll be it. So that was that. So that was number 9. So I know on the original light board, organ board, and believe it or not, there is not a lot of light organ boards out there, or if there is, they're ridiculously expensive, and they're like a 2-channel, 3-channel, or 5-channel, stuff like that. Would be pretty cool. The one that I got coming, in case that one is not working anymore, is a 2-channel. So you probably could upgrade your organ to do something really cool with the 2 channels that are independently controlled. So that was one of the things he wanted to know if it could be put in. And that's what this organ board is. I think it's to change the sensitivity of the microphone. See if there's any information on it. Let's see. So this one is you got to put a line in it. Because it doesn't have a little microphone on it, where the one that I got coming does have a microphone on it, and it has 2 adjustable gain outputs for it, or inputs, or however it's designed, where you can, especially if it's inside something, it can be adjusted for sensitivity and stuff like that. So that takes care of that. That'll be a 2-channel, probably be better than that one anyway. But I'll make it right in case it's completely foobarred. And then the only other thing on Jay's wish list, he needed a half a dozen 18650s. So here's your 6 18650s and some oxide varistors, metal oxide varistors. So here are them. So that is the box of junk. And then of course I haven't heard any updates in any emails on if Jay ever found his original watt meter. So as you all see in one of my live streams that I did version 3. So if I don't hear anything anytime soon, it looks like Jay will be the owner of version 3, which I think is a little bit more cooler because it has a cord on it now. You don't have to rely on IEC, and you can beat the shit out of this one. You ain't got no fucking limitations. You know, this is fucking 12 gauge wire, so you know you can run 20 amps in it, 25 amps short duration on it. So that'll be more than likely that'll be going home to Jay. and stuff like that. And then I did mention I was going to make him a gift. He's actually got 3 of them. And I will only show a little tidbit. Oh, of course I put my hand right over it. That's all I'm going to show. So, you got 3 of them. You got an off eggshell, a white one, and a black one. And of course, after you see this, and you open it up on camera and put it on, more than likely, your better half will want one. Maybe something that she would like on hers. I can just guess. But it's going to be cool. You're going to like what you see, what I put on it. I'm not going to give any more details other than that until you see it. So, like I mentioned, that's really the only thing I'm waiting for is a new rectifier for this to see if that works. And then that new to everyone, actually really new to nobody because it's old stock, digital answering machine. So we'll get that running again for him. Other than that, there's really not much else going on other than my my own personal stuff. So I've been embroidering off and on all week, last week, because I was off all week. So got several different projects done, including Jay's project. That was quite, if I had to charge somebody, it would be quite a bit of money to do that, because basically if I wanted to do go into actually the embroidering business, it's kind of like an Apple business. It's like you either take it or leave it, because I got you by the balls. I'm going to charge you what I'm going to charge you, and basically it's hourly rate. So basically most people are going to charge you about $40 an hour minimum. It'd be 1 hour minimum depending on what it is, and then the stitch count. So the more stitches, usually an average stitch count is about anywhere between $2 and $4 per 1,000 stitches, especially if it's, depending on what it is. But if you get something that's more complex, then the price of per 1,000 stitches comes down a little bit. So something like that would still be quite expensive. And then so I got to show that off to one shirt off to my one of my guys over on the other side of the pond there, fence there, I should say. Because he was quite interested on what I was doing. I was telling him about what I do on my whatever spare time I have, and he wanted to see that, because I think he wants something. And I told him, I said I was making a fancy shirt for a fellow YouTuber, and he kind of made the suggestion for me of course, next year, 2026 will be the USA, or United States of America's 250th birthday of being independent, July 4th. So he wanted to know what I was doing to make a shirt or something like that, or if I had any ideas. And I says, this was like 2-3 weeks ago. I says, at the time, I don't have anything in mind. So last week, while I was doing all this crap, I come up with some ideas, and of course my best friend is really Etsy, so I come up with a preliminary plan. And of course what's nice about embroidery is that you get all these documents that you can print out. So I was thinking about, on the front of a shirt, of course, t-shirt or polo or hoodie or whatever. I might make a hoodie or sweatshirt or something long sleeves for the winter, and then something during the summertime. So I was thinking the front of the shirt, of course this is a combination of applique, or you can do standalone. So I was thinking, of course, the US of A in blue, red, and white. So something like that. Of course you're going to have to piece it together in your own little micro mind. So you can just imagine that USA 250 years, so that'll be front and center of the shirt. So keep all this imagery in your little minds. And then right below this, So below, right off the USA, is the year it was, our country was independent. So 1776, and it says 4th of July. So it's a little hard to read on camera, but right here in the center, it says 4th of July. So that would be pretty cool. And then I seen an eagle, a red, white, and blue eagle. I did make one of these for my shirts, the back of one of my shirts. So I was thinking to have the eagle sitting on top of the U. So that was my goal. Of course, it's kind of hard to do with paper. Otherwise, I fold this over. So I have the U and I have the eagle sort of flying toward it, which I thought would be pretty cool. Put his talons right on top of that U, kind of like that. So that'd be pretty. I thought that was cool, especially when I seen it. So that's for the front of the shirt. Then got left sleeve. Left sleeve is just the American flag with a goldenrod border. So that would go on the left sleeve. Lots and lots of stitches. And then on the right sleeve, the Liberty Bell. So that would go on the right sleeve. Of course, they can be turned around with the change of the American flag file so that it faces the other way. And then on the sides of the shirt, the hem, where the two, the front and the back of the meet, a firework. So kind of like that on the sides, both sides. So that would look pretty cool. And this design is meant to be either, you can either leave it intact, the bottom of the shirt intact, or you can actually bring this right down to the very edge of the hem of the shirt and split it. So that's kind of like the new trend for embroidery applique, is these there's bows, this design, and some cats that you can split the shirt. So it's either an option. So that's the front and sleeves of the shirt. Who got? I'll take one of those shirts, but on the back of a light gray zipper hoodie. I bet. And then for me, the back of the shirt would be that. This is a complex stitch file. I don't know. It says how many stitches are in. Actually, this is how many times I would have to change the colors, or change the, not all the colors, but at least change the threads. Because I only got a single thread machine, so that's how many times I would have to change the threads. So that's quite complex. It's got 53,509 stitches and 12 needle changes. It says 41 colors, but you got to combine that into 12 needle changes. So that would be that on the back of the shirt. And then for a final applaud America, established in 1776. So that was pretty cool. That's for my shirt. You know, for some it's probably a little more complex than they would want, but it's my shirt, my design, and I thought it was cool. So that's that. So that's my thoughts. Of course, I still got until, you know, at least until January to make a final decision on what I want to do. Of course, all this stuff is open for change. And like I said, all this stuff that I got here all come from files from Etsy. So if you got an embroidery machine and you want to come up with ideas and stuff like that, just go on Etsy. And for me, it was a couple of different searches, which pretty much brought up a lot of the same files. And for me, it was like America.pes, because that's the file format of my machine. So America.pes or 250th birthday.pes or United States of America.pes or American Eagles.pes and stuff like that. So that was my my searches. And of course, you know, as more people that are more creative than me, they come up with stuff like that. They put them on the on Etsy there, and it's only a couple dollars. I mean, them couple of files, it only cost me a little over $20 just to get the file, and I have them forever. So, you know, anytime you can apply that or stuff like that. So that's pretty cool to have. I'll take. So Jack. So I only got one viewer in here. That's Jack's PC. I'll take one of those shirts, but on the back of a light gray zipper hoodie. Yeah, okay. So if anybody watches this or you're interested in any of that stuff, I do make it available, and only on when I have time. You know, it's like, because I work 5 days a week, so when I have time, I do stuff like that. Like, it took me, of course, a lot of stuff is non-priority. I mean, it literally took me months just to take this shirt out of Jay's stuff and get it ready. And of course, I use all high quality shirts. Like these are textiles, so these are heavy duty shirts. When you do embroidery, you want pretty much the shirt to crap out before the embroidery does, which happens a lot with screen printing, which I can't stand screen printing because it just goes to hell so quickly. Even stuff, even simple stuff like this, you know, like that would go to hell real quick on a especially stretchy stuff like that. It don't last long, which I like the embroidery better. Oh, let's see. What else do we got going on? Let's see. Do I have anything interesting coming out? I still got to figure out what's wrong with that thermometer. I don't know. Of course, it'd probably be just easier just to replace that thing. So that is, I guess that's all that I got to offer for this particular stream. So for my one viewer, Jack's PC, thanks for watching. If you want something special like that, my email's in the homepage of the channel page and stuff like that. If you want, check any of that stuff out. Of course, if you want something special, like I mentioned, go on Etsy and do that PES file format, and you know, if you can come up with a design or stuff like that, and just contact me or email me, and we'll work something out. So with that, I guess that's good enough for this stream. How long has it been running? Over an hour, so hour and 4 minutes. So for those who watched live, for those who watched the replay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next stream. So till then, take care.
Rolling through the channels, what do I see? A time machine wizard fixing tech with glee. Old gadgets, new life, he's the chosen one. Every broken circuit, he's gonna get it done. From vintage TVs to your old cassette, with the trusty soldering iron, there's no regrets. Turning back the clock, making them shine. Rolling TARDIS magic is simply divine. Hey, like and subscribe, join the crew. Rolling TARDIS on YouTube, he's waiting for you. Fixing your old electronics, bringing them back. Tune in now, you're on the right track. He's got the flow, he's got the style. Every DIY hack makes it all worthwhile. Capacitors dancing, resistor in line. With a grin on his face, he's crossing the tide. From video games to the stereo's beat, rolling TARDIS brings the fix, can't accept defeat. Watch him unravel, watch him restore. Every creak and pop, you're gonna want more. Hey, like and subscribe, join the crew. Rolling TARDIS on YouTube, he's waiting for you. Fixing your old electronics, bringing them back. Tune in now, you're on the mic track. So gather round, folks, it's more than a show. It's a journey through time. Come on, let's go. With every episode, the wonders unfold. Rolling TARDIS, a story to be told. No broken dreams in his workshop space, just a passion for fixing, a welcoming place. Each step of the way, you'll learn something new, from repairing a lamp to a classic Atari 2. With the twist of his wrench and a turn of the dial, you'll be flipping through channels in no time. Will smile. Throw your hands up, it's a community vibe. Feel that electric pulse, feel that old tribe. Get your gear ready, let's spark up the chat. Rolling TARDIS is the name, remember that. Like and subscribe, join the crew. Rolling TARDIS on YouTube, he's waiting for you. Fixing your old electronics, rolling them back. Tune in now, you're on the right track. So if you've got gadgets that need a good home, Rolling TARDIS is the place, no need to roll. With every new fix, you'll feel the blast. Join the journey now, let's make tech last.